This is overwater analysis of Jordn's breaststroke. Right, so the first thing we notice in Jordn's start is that we want to make sure that when we hit the water, we don't let our legs fold up behind our body. We can see here that as her legs bend this way, it causes her to lose momentum off the blocks. It actually acts as a shock absorber, so instead of carrying her momentum straight through the same hole, she loses forward momentum. She loses her forward momentum by allowing her legs to come back up. This is a pretty good pull out. What we might like to see her do, though, is make sure that she pulls her hands down beneath her body instead of out to the side. And also keep that head down in line with her body on the streamline. She does an excellent job of not moving her chin and keeping her head in streamline with her body. We can see as she reaches all the way out, she gets to be almost in perfect streamline. This is a great asset to have in our breaststroke. When we look at breaststroke timing, we'll be able to see much better in the underwater video, but we'd like to make sure that when our hands get to this point right here, when they're moving forward, we'd like to see her feet be all the way up against her backside. That way she can kick her arms forward and really explode through the stroke. Right now we can see she has a slight inefficiency where her arms and legs are moving forward at the same time. So we can see that she has negative resistance from her arms and negative resistance from her legs, which is impeding her forward progress. We can even see that it's exaggerated and it causes to come almost to a complete stop when she takes that breath. Okay, on this turn we want to make sure that we come in and touch and she does a great job of dropping her hips and coming around, but we want to make sure we leave one hand on the wall, drop our left elbow, and bring our right elbow behind our head and streamline. We're going to keep our eyes on that hand on the wall and push off almost flat on our back until we spin over onto our stomach. Practicing the load and shoot breaststroke drill is really going to help Jordn with her breaststroke timing a lot. She really started to get the hang of the drill, and the more often she does it, the better her breaststroke will be. It'll allow her to remove the inefficiency of her arms and legs moving forward at the same time, and really allow her to increase her power, speed, and efficiency in her breaststroke. This is underwater analysis of Jordn's breaststroke. Okay, we can see here that Jordn breaks her streamline almost immediately to force herself back up to the surface of the water. We want to make sure that she keeps that head down in her streamline and bananas herself back up to the surface instead of breaking out so deep. When she does this, we can see how vertical she gets coming towards her breakout. This slows her down and forces her to lose a lot of the momentum that she had coming off of the start. Alright, so we want to make sure that we work on Jordn's breaststroke timing, and we're going to do that by making sure she continues to practice the load and shoot drill with her breaststroke. So Jordn currently has an inefficiency in her stroke that we want to eliminate. So at this point of her breaststroke, we can see that her arms are moving forward and her legs are moving forward at the same time. This is really decreasing her forward momentum and takes away the speed and power that she's generating from her kick. She does a great job of reaching out and staying long, but the inefficiency that we just discussed really prevents her from being as fast in the breaststroke as she can be. Another thing we really like to see her do is make sure she consistently drops that head down between the arms. Sometimes she keeps her heads up, and sometimes she drops it all the way down. The best way to have remedied this is to keep her eyes on the bottom of the pool at all times. That way she'll never come up too high in the water for a breath, and she'll also maintain that perfect streamline with her body when she extends her full reach. We also want to see when she comes in for this turn, make sure she touches with two hands, which is correct, but we don't want to see her drop both hands. We want to see her just drop the left hand and then bring her right hand behind her head in a streamline before she pushes off the wall. This is much better depth on the breakout of this breaststroke lap than the first off the start. That's much more appropriate for depth for the start as well. She never needs to be quite as deep as she is early in that start. She really keeps her arms moving forward, but if there's one hesitation in her stroke at all, it's probably right under her chin for her arms. If we're going to hesitate, it's going to be at the top of the stroke when in our full streamline position. We don't want to hold those hands right under our chin for an instant because that really is going to detract from our forward momentum. Additionally, we need to make sure she's squeezing those legs out and around and together very hard. We want to see those ankles coming all the way together on every breaststroke kick.